Hello, this is MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University and Schools news and question and answer on Monday, June 2nd, 2025. And greetings from the Lakeport, California, Carnegie Library. I'm holding up the computer in such a way that it can see the Carnegie Library words above me, above the entrance to this library, one of 142 libraries uh, uh, donated by Carnegie to California. This one was built, I think, in 1918 and closed in 1985. And it's a place that World University and School is seeking to potentially uh, build out in, and perhaps for a center for students, prospective students to come and find out about World University and School, but also potentially a first WUAS educational services store, physical, digital too, and that would offer also uh, Lego robotics kits, for example, such as the Spike Prime Lego robotics kit that World University and School seeks to make partly central for playing and learning uh, to initially uh, developing for students entering World University and School. But it works, this Lego Scratch Prime robotics kits, which I hope will become available out of this building in Lakeport, California, which is a county seat of Lake County, California, would open remarkable avenues for prospective engineering students. And also because Lego Spike Prime robotics kits work with the Scratch programming language, which is a visual drag and drop block programming language out of the MIT Media Lab and also out of Harvard Graduate School of Education. And it's a free programming language as well. So interoperable with Lego Spike Prime robotics kits for play and making robots and makey in the learning process. So as we wait to see if people will join us in this weekly World University and School news and question and answer, I'd like to share a little news with you. This is an opportunity for you from anywhere in all of 24 time zones around the world to join this open question and answer. I post about this to both 7 Twitter feeds, Twitter X feeds, and about 3 LinkedIn profiles, and email about 1,500, about 750 people for these Mondays WUAS news and question and answers. So let me just check if anyone's seeking to join us. Not yet. I received, I think, 2 interesting recent feedback items with regards to these. One, some positive comments on YouTube for last week's WUS news and question and answer. And secondly, a posting from YouTube from the European Molecular Biological Institute on standardizing and creating open imaging formats for potentially also a realistic virtual Earth and at the molecular level. Especially, I created a set of tweets about this just about a half hour ago. So in terms of the agenda and news, I don't see anyone seeking to join us presently. Dear Universitians, friends, all, greetings from MIT OpenCourseWare-centric Wiki World University and School. How are you? I hope this email finds you well. So this is the WUS News and Question and Answer for June 2nd, 2025. It was posted on, and the recording will be posted to two blog posts, one from World University and School.blogspot.com, beginning Weminuche Wilderness, Colorado, that will is up already, this blog post, and another similar related blog post is at scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, Weminuche Wilderness, Colorado, Wilderness in Colorado, for 6/2/25. And the recording will be posted there as well after this. So free MIT OpenCourseware centric, free to students, wiki World University and School is growing, and growing with hashtag grow with Google, WUAS, for free to students online degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, and Ivy High School or similar AAAS and master's degrees, first in English, then in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages. And see Peter Norvig's incredible hashtag Toolify AI WUAS, revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI. Hashtag World University in School, and check out the hashtags on Twitter X. All the best, abolitionally. Friendly Quaker greetings, Scott. And the recording will also be posted at youtube.com/@ScottMcCloud World University /videos. So there's a focus in today's WUAS News and Question and Answer on WUAS artificial general intelligence. In particular, it's a remarkable new development in the information technology revolution, thanks to computer science. Gemini, conversational generative artificial intelligence, is one large language model, or potentially interoperable large language models and more, that is AI and artificial general intelligence that World University and School in a Grow with Google WUS program would seek to develop further with. So the agenda item 0, MIT OpenCourseware centric, ocw.mit.edu, wiki, Grow with Google WUS, World University and SCH, and at WUS Press 2, our two main Twitter X feeds. For Monday, May 26, 2025, WUAS News and Question and Answer is posted. Check it out. It's in the two blog posts beginning Lava Beds National Monument, California, from last Monday, 5/26/2025. And it has a focus on also AGI WUAS, at the hashtag artificial general intelligence WUS, and a hashtag artificial general intelligence, and also hashtag Google I/O 25. So Google Input Output Developers Conference for 2025, which was last Tuesday and Wednesday, and also hashtag WUAS Research. And you'll find this to be a set of posts on Twitter and LinkedIn with Stanford and Harbin Hot Springs ethnography bookmark image in some of them, and an MIT OpenCourseware picture in others, and a video picture for yet others. Check out the recording from last week and see where we're heading. I'm curious how AI and artificial and general intelligence might be reading these WUS News and Question and Answers as well, and creating data sets, databases out of them potentially for further communication, artificial general intelligence, reasoning, and conversational generative AI developments. So agenda item 1, Mono Lake, research in university. for example, at World Univ and SCH, and Artificial General Intelligence, which is a new blog label too in both blogs, World University and Schools blog and scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog. And reaching out also to Senator Elizabeth Warren, former Harvard Law professor, in these regards. And how could hashtag free to students online, hashtag MIT OCW centric World University and School, Artificial General Intelligence, AGIWUS, extend hashtag USA, good public education in 50 US states with new opportunities, especially at the high school, hashtag high school, and beyond levels. And you can see more about this in the Lava Beds National Monument, California. And Senator Elizabeth Warren retweets someone giving very powerful testimony in Congress who says, "I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm not even registered to vote. I think what they're doing to the Department of Education is abhorrent." So this is Elizabeth Warren's writes, powerful testimony on how every single kid in America should have good access to good public education. And this is something World University and School, free MIT OCW centric, grow with Google WUS seeks to potentially contribute with or contribute to. So research in universities and with artificial general intelligence, how will this work? This is a set of tweets, research in university, e.g. at World Univ and SCH, and potentially with a hashtag AGIWUAS. So with a particular set of artificial general intelligence is emerging out of WUS, perhaps with this all languages focus for World University and School, 7,159 known living languages, for example, and also with our MIT OpenCourseWare centricity, where MIT OpenCourseWare is now in 5 languages, and it's been in as many as about 12 languages. These could well inform as data sets artificial general intelligences that are specific to World University and School and the WUAS Press, where the WUAS Press also seeks to create translation for books between all 7,159 known living languages of academic books. So another data set generation process may well emerge from this that will inform artificial generative intelligence, artificial general intelligence as it iterates and develops. And further, research in university at World Univ and SCH, AGIWUS, and with artificial general intelligence, how will this work? And in a hashtag realistic virtual earth, and see Peter Norvig's incredible article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, World University in School, at the tulify.ai URL, where he posted it, updated March 2nd, 2024. And particularly for a realistic virtual earth for museums, that's a hashtag, and for libraries, hashtag for libraries. So a realistic virtual earth for libraries. For example, in hashtag G Street View, hashtag G Time Slider, G Maps. And see also the Google I/O set of 100 announcements, all their announcements from last Tuesday and Wednesday. And how will these be applicable and helpful for scholars and artificial general intelligences for doing further research? And World University and School at this time, and in writing a book, Society, Information Technology, and the Global University, has a particular interest in research regarding museums, all ever in all languages, in a realistic virtual earth that we all can add to too, and museums can add to as well. And also all libraries in all languages, all known languages, extinct languages ever, in a realistic virtual earth for libraries. So go into the Library of Congress in the year 1903, It was just opened in the 1890s, I think, initially, the first building, potentially. Uh, it may have a history before that with Thomas Jefferson's library as a beginning, but see how the Library of Congress develops through the years. In Google Street View with Time Slider, pick a book off the shelf from 1903, and differently if more books were added in 1912. If there's, for example, photographs of these stacks of these shelves, and then if there access to these books, these all have significant research implications, and potentially with AGI, artificial general intelligence, especially if we can go into Google Street View with Time Slider to 1903 to the Library of Congress and pick a book off the shelf by simply asking a Gemini AI, for example, or if we can go into the Smithsonian Museum, if it was open in the 1850s, and see what was displayed in, say, 1885, and pick and come into conversation with possibly museum curators of the 1880s, Smithsonian University curators, say, by taking photos of Smithsonian curators. I don't think there was any video at that time or film of such curators, but from photos, potentially making them conversationally, generatively interactive with AI, machine learning, and large language models, natural language processing, for example. So in an expanded way, research in a university at World Univ and SCH at AGIWUS, and with artificial general intelligence, and in a realistic virtual earth, in a realistic virtual earth for museums, in a realistic all ever in all languages, in a realistic virtual earth for libraries, similarly, all ever. Pick a PDF book off of hashtag virtual library shelf in any given year, and as photos, for example, of bookshelves with titles from different years are added to such a realistic virtual earth for libraries, as this will iterate. And in thinking G Street View with G Time Slider, with G Maps, with G Earth, with TensorFlow AI, and regarding also the 100 things we announced at Google I/O 2025. More about this in the Mono Lake blog post from last week in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog. Agenda item 2. So in a blog post from last week as well, on Wednesday, May 28th, 2025, beginning Red Flower Current, Ribes Sanguineum, I asked Google AI Studio. The address for this is aistudio.google.com, and you can use this too as a large language model, as a AI generator. I asked how best to develop MIT OpenCourseware-centric Wiki World University in Schools, 200 online universities in 200 countries and in their main languages. And with AGI, and with what AI tools. And so use aistudio.google.com or use gemini.google.com. And also in this question I posed to AI Studio, with MIT OCW translated courses, giving AI Studio a URL, mitocw.ups.edu/.ec, I think for Ecuador, /courses/translated-courses, where there's 5 languages with MIT OpenCourseware in them on this web page, and how to develop in Wikipedia's 342 languages with Wikidata WUAS, where WUAS has been in Wikidata since the mid-2015s, around 2013, I think, as hashtag WUAS backend structured database, structured knowledge database, and with AI and ML. And from the wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/World University. I got an incredible response. Thank you. World University and School learned how to develop further from aistudio.google.com. How to take the next steps might involve hiring people, but stay tuned. Google's AI Studio's response begins. This is an incredibly ambitious and potentially transformative vision, developing 200 MIT OCW-centric online universities across different countries and languages, powered by AI and structured with Wikidata, is a monumental task. Here's a breakdown of how you might approach this. So check out what Google AI Studio said at both the redflower-current.ribi-sanguinem in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog, and also in the World University and School.blogspot.com post for that day last week. Exciting developments thanks to AI and machine learning and AI Studio. So agenda item 3, further a question to Ask Gemini AI. When might the first aging reversal genetic drug therapies for farsightedness to reverse needing reading glasses become available, FDA approved? And I got also a fascinating response from Gemini AI in these regards. Genetic therapies, drug therapies for farsightedness to reverse needing reading glasses are not yet available. Some drops are already available. Some drops are going through clinical trials, but potentially genetic drug therapies for farsightedness will be very, very helpful. And check out Google Gemini AI's response in these regards. Agenda item 4. Do you know of any hashtag aging reversal genetics courses? Hashtag wiki add them to the Aging Reversal Genetics Wiki School at World University and School. And see the blog post beginning Microscope Images of Genes University from just Sunday, June 1st, 2025. So could we grow a course in next year's How to Grow Almost Anything Synthetic Biology course 2026 from MIT and Harvard, and regarding particularly with a hashtag realistic virtual earth for aging reversal, with potentially perhaps producing a MIT Harvard course, hashtag MIT Harvard course. David Sun Kong, the faculty lead of the HTGAA 2025, and Professor George Church, too, at the Harvard Medical School. Could we not only create a course and a realistic virtual earth for aging reversal, but even a possible genetic drug therapy out of this process in HTGAA 2026, and even do clinical trials of it for it in new ways, digitally online in a realistic virtual earth for clinical trials? Stay tuned. Agenda item 5. This is a paleontological set of Twitter posts, and regarding Spencer Wells' 2002 forward out of Africa theory. So is Spencer Wells' 2002 forward out of Africa theory potentially discredited by Brooke Larmer's 2025, The Hunt for the Other Humans 2025 National Geographic article, where he cites a new body of evidence, which include Denisovans, artifacts, bones, number which are less than would fit in a bread box, and involve finds in both Laos, the country caves in the hills there, as well as in Papua New Guinea. Spencer Wells' theory suggests that about 60,000 years ago was when the out of Africa movement by Homo sapiens and our predecessors began. So a set of tweets in these regards is S.P. Wells' 2002 forward out of Africa theory discredited by Brooke Larmer's 2025 The Hunt for Other Humans. That's a hashtag, the hunt for other humans. The hunt for the other humans in a hashtag National Geographic article. Hashtag Gemini AI. So I asked Gemini AI, says that the National Geographic article, Hunt for the Other Humans, supplements Spencer Wells' out of Africa theory. Check out the Gemini AI response. It's interesting. So I posted this set of tweets to the paleontology wiki subject page at World University and School, and how further also to develop a realistic virtual Earth for paleontology in these regards. But I did not post this set of tweets to the genetics wiki subject page or the evolution wiki subject or wiki school page at World University and School, or the evolutionary biology page at World University and School, or the primatology wiki subject page, where this set of tweets could conceivably have gone. This is also an update of some recent wiki open teaching and learning, some additions to World University and School's wiki subject page. You can see and read more about this in the blog post beginning Tarsier, When Might First Aging Reversal Genetic Drug Therapies for Eyes Emerge. Agenda item 6. So in reviewing the final hashtag MIT Harvard, hashtag HTGAA 2025, How to Grow Almost Anything synthetic biology course, in which I was a global listener, reviewing their presentations by hashtag MIT Harvard registered students, daunting opportunities. There are daunting opportunities, remarkable, fascinating challenges that could grow in great ways to grow a realistic virtual Earth for hashtag for synthetic biology. And with, quote, AlphaFold 3 predicts the structure and interactions of all life's molecules. Check it out in the blog post beginning Port Orford Cedar, Chamaecyparis. And how to develop such a realistic virtual Earth for synthetic biology with AlphaFold 3 server. And this retweets David, the faculty lead, the professor, David Sun Kong in the MIT Media Lab, a director in the MIT Media Lab, Twitter announcement on the course, How to Grow Almost Anything, HTGAA, last January 7th. And you'll see this also in the blog post beginning Wilson's Phalarope in reviewing final MIT Harvard registered student presentations for HTGAA. Agenda item 6A. In response, I think, to sending out the WS News and Question and Answer News and Agenda yesterday evening, Sunday, June 1st, 2025, I received a video on my smartphone from the European Molecular Biology Laboratory. Ewan Burney, I think, is a main director there. EMBL, so focus on molecular biology. And the video was titled Towards Open and Standardized Imaging Data, an Introduction to Bioformats, OME-TIFF, TIFF, and OME-ZAR, ZARR. It's an hour-long video. So I created a set of tweets this morning. How best, hashtag Peter Norvig, hashtag Google AI, hashtag MIT Harvard HTGAA. To do this for one, hashtag realistic virtual Earth, and at the G molecule view level 2. So a World University and School realistic virtual Earth, further imaging openness and standardization question. Agenda item 7, Flywire Princeton Connectome project. Recently shared about 4 short videos on new tools and ways to use the Flywire Princeton Connectome project, modeling or creating a wiring diagram, so to speak, of the Drosophila fly brain in a new way of conceiving of brain science, connectome, as a connectome. And they've done this, I think, completely. They've completely modeled a Drosophila fly brain, and they're beginning to create tools to begin to work with the neurons firing in a Drosophila fly brain so that humans can work with this. So combine hashtag Drosophila fly brain, hashtag wiring diagram, hashtag Flywire Princeton, hashtag Connectome project with hashtag G Street View, with hashtag G Time Slider, hashtag G Cell View, plus to create the next step in a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for and a hashtag aging reversal genetics. So check out these short videos. Fascinating initial tools. They will only grow more sophisticatedly, I suspect, and will become applicable potentially to human brain as well, with also probably application to aging reversal and extreme longevity, cell and molecular questions, and potentially with genetics too. Check out, this is in the blog post beginning Wilson's Phalarope in reviewing the final MIT Harvard registered students presentations. Agenda item 8. This is a friendly Quaker informed set of tweets and regarding peacekeeping. And in the country of Cyprus, where World University and School seeks to be in all 200 countries and in their main and official languages, and where there's, I think, a army in the north of Cyprus from another country, such that the United Nations thinks that stationing a UN peacekeeping force in Cyprus makes sense. So how could hashtag friendly Quaker informed World Univ and SCH, hashtag Cyprus WUAS, which you will eventually be able to access as a major online Cyprus university in Turkish and Greek, from the nation states wiki subject page at World University and School, help with peacekeeping in Cyprus. So a set of tweets in these regards. Help with peacekeeping in Cyprus and regarding the peacekeeping.un.org /en/mission/UNFICYP for Cyprus wiki, sorry, not wiki, web page. And with hashtag, how could World University and School, friendly informed Quaker, World University and School, help with free to students, MIT OCW centric wiki, grow with Google WUAS degrees from home in the Greek and Turkish languages. So bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB high school or similar, AAAS, and master's degrees in Cyprus. Fascinating opportunity for World University and School that's open now with the internet and with the information technology revolution. And this set of tweets retweets Rosary School Rajkot in Ahmedabad, India, in Gujarat, India, on the west coast, I think north of Mumbai, Bombay, and where Rosary School Rajkot at Rosary Tweets is its Twitter handle, writes, help us spread the word, share with your friends. Hashtag today's special, International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers at UN Peacekeeping, where I think India is one country that may send a peacekeeping force, if you will, to Cyprus. So India, as working in the UN peacekeeping sphere for regarding Cyprus, with some Twitter posts, Twitter handles for related United Nations and Cyprus peacekeeping developments. So agenda item 9, the Scottish independence movement, 5/17/2025. This is a newspaper article that recently was posted to the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. Quote, Gov, who's a leader, who's a Scot in Parliament, I think in Westminster, Gov, quote, in agreement, end quote, with Swiney, the current First Minister of Scotland, over second independence referendum. Check out the BBC article to see what has emerged regarding the Scottish independence movement, where both Gov and Swiney are Scots. What would you do? So in this set of tweets, what would you add to the conversation? At Nicola Sturgeon, former First Minister, and Wilson MacLeod, professor lecturer at the University of Edinburgh, who is also leading the Scottish Gaelic language revival. Hashtag get out the vote. And regarding Scotland, blog label at scott-macleod.blogspot.com /search/label/Scotland. And regarding Scotland, WUAS, hashtag, where World University and School seeks to grow and develop free online, helpful MIT OCW-centric Go with Google WUAS, Scotland, World University and School, with a set of tweets in these regards. Read the article. There's also a video from by Nicola Sturgeon from 2019 regarding some of the issues around the Scottish independence movement. So agenda item 10. I was in Petaluma, California, which is just north of San Francisco, just south of Santa Rosa, yesterday, Sunday, 6/1/2025, at the Carnegie Library there. And I'm presently, as I mentioned, in the Carnegie Library. I'm holding up the Carnegie Library name above my head in the video right now. And I went to the Carnegie Library, and there was there in Petaluma, and there was an exhibit on the Chinese in Petaluma, mostly in the 1880s, but in the second half of the 19th century, in the second half of the 1800s. And I happened upon, after viewing this helpful and great exhibit, a walking tour, Chinatown Unearthed, and two great docents, guides, gave this tour as we walked around Petaluma, and seemed like there was a fascinating opportunity for the beginning of China World University and School in traditional Chinese, which is already existent at OpenCourseWare in some of these regards. But in communicating with the two guides, docents, who were giving this walking tour, Francoise Leclerc and Antonio Cao, they were sharing fascinating resources about where Chinatown businesses, for example, were likely to have been overlaid some paper handouts where current buildings and businesses are. And one question that emerged with these documents that particularly Antonio Cao was sharing, and from this tour, was how to add such documents and to further explore these questions that I think a researcher at the Carnegie Library had put together from insurance records to a realistic virtual Earth for history at some point in the future, and much more. So this is a project World University and School is seeking to facilitate. Dear Antonia, Lena, who was, I think, the person who put together some of the walking tour, and Francoise, thanks again for a great walking tour of Petaluma's Chinatown unearthed. Regarding the photos you, Antonia, shared with the where Chinese businesses were in the late 1800s, I think you said in Petaluma superimposed over current buildings, which you, Antonia, said Lena put together from insurance documents. How best to add these in the years the Chinese businesses, for example, were in existence in a beginning realistic virtual Earth for history in Google Street View with Time Slider, as this infrastructure, IT infrastructure, iterates? How best even to talk with Dr. Qi, someone who is a Chinese physician who was living in the 1880s, even in iterating avatar agent form from developing from photos, if these exist, with AI and ML and natural language processing. Stay tuned. In these regards further, how best to create code, the beginning of a realistic virtual Earth for history, for adding walking tours and adding video interviews, say from, for example, 2007, 2012, 2024, and adding them to Google Street View with Time Slider. So I'm using an example of Harbin Hot Springs, my ethnographic physical digital field site, where these 3 years, 2007, 2012, 2024, already exist in Google Street View of the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse. It seems like there are great opportunities to explore both when the Chinese businesses were in existence and also the current sort of state of Petaluma in a Google Street View with Time Slider. Also, how to add the actual exhibit in the Carnegie Library, in the Petaluma Carnegie Library, which is now its Historical Society museum and library, further, and potentially to add not only this Chinatown China exhibit, but also potentially all exhibits that have gone back in a realistic virtual Earth for history, a realistic virtual Earth for libraries, and for, in this case, museums. And you can see more about this, these questions, this thinking, this new approach to history, this new theory and method. Also, I'm calling it EthnoWiki Virtual World Graphy. In the blog post beginning, Pine Hill Ceanothus roderickii, regarding my visiting Placerville, California, and the El Dorado Historical Society about a week and a half ago, and regarding digitization as well. Could World University and School create free China World University and School for Chinese in America, for Chinese in China, and for free degrees from home in traditional Chinese language? To start, Mandarin, I think. So a set of tweets in these regards, check it out. So moving to the WUS Corporation, second of 2 WUS wings, a for-profit general stock company, legal entity in the state of California, the WUS Press, planned in 7,159 known living languages. In just about an hour from now, World University and School has another meeting with JP Morgan Chase Bank and with the Acceleration Project. I've attended probably 8 to 10 of these in the past year. And today's session is titled something like Free Small Group Coaching Sessions Available, Enhancing Your Web web presence Monday, 6/2/2025 at noon. In these regards, excited to explore further the questions of growing World University and School and our web presence with JP Morgan Chase Bank, potentially via the acceleration project. And since JP Morgan Chase Bank is in about 100 out of 200 countries. And also regarding the potential for World University and School to code for citizens in not only all 200 countries, so double the number of countries that JP Morgan Chase Bank is in, but potentially for coding for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages, and moving from there to coding for most of all 7.9 billion people, and potentially also with Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency to potentially end poverty. So all of this would develop with on the web, and regarding Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency, as well as World University and Schools web presence in all 200 countries, and coding for all 7.9 billion people from you at World University. And in the invitation from the Acceleration Project to this free small group coaching session available, enhancing your web presence, there was a question about whether we, World University and School or the WUS Corporation, knew of a U.S. Treasury Department program for funding. And it's something that World University and School didn't know about. And would there be a way to access this funding from the U.S. Treasury Department as we build out in all 200 countries our web presence, and with Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency partnering email. And further in some of these regards, the Chase Bank TAP invitation asked a number of questions about World University and School as we've developed over the past year and a half communicating with them. And in particular, what industries are we in? And World University and School is also, in particular, a science and technology company, and also in particular, an MIT OCW-centric wiki science information technology company, in addition to being an education company on both wings, an educational services company, a retail company with our planning educational services stores in all 200 countries, physical, digital. So moving beyond Walmart in 19 out of 200 countries. And if we can, building from Walmart software and infrastructure and in all those 200 countries' languages. And we're also an academic press company, planning to be in 7,159 known living languages regarding our web presence too. So a science and technology company and an MIT OCW-centric wiki science information technology company, in addition to being education, educational services, retail, academic press, and an information technology company, a computer science company. Could we build our first WUS educational services store, flagship store, in this Carnegie Library behind me? And with potentially Chase Bank being nearby, 3 blocks away or so. Could Chase Bank help with this? Stay tuned. Possibly. So all the best, abolitionally friendly Quaker greetings. And this follows on a long email thread. This correspondence with TAP, the Acceleration Project, in collaboration with Chase Bank. Email thread titled Chase Bank Branch, Shadyside Community in Pittsburgh, PA, Monday, December 11th, 2023. So that part of that conversation is available in today's blog posts for World University and Schools, WS News and Question and Answer. And the last agenda item B, on the WS Corporation, WS wing, academic press wing, a Gemini AI for book writing. How best with hashtag Gemini AI for book writing to synthesize my, for example, one, hashtag Twitter posts, two, hashtag WUS video recordings, WUS video recordings at youtube.com/ at Scott McCloud World University /videos, and three, blog posts, blog entries at Scott-McCloud .blogspot.com, search label Global University to write Society, Information Technology, and the Global University book further, and with a focus on, right now, a realistic virtual Earth for museums and for libraries. This would be very helpful with a particular focus on research in universities and regarding developing also artificial general intelligence for World University and School and in a realistic virtual Earth, a realistic virtual Earth for museums, a realistic virtual Earth for libraries in Google Street View with Time Slider, Gmaps, and regarding the Google I/O 2025 from last Tuesday and Wednesday announcements, many of the 100 of them. And check out the blog post in these regards, beginning Meadow, Saxifrage, Saxifraga, Granulata, JP Morgan Chase Bank with the Acceleration Project, and also regarding the Gemini AI for book writing. So that's the news and agenda for, that's the news for World University and School this Monday, June 2nd, 2025. I'll post a Twitter, I'll post a recording of this to Twitter, World University and School's Twitter, twitter.com/World Univ and SCH, twitter.com/WUAS Press, as well as to two blogs, and after uploading the video recording to our main video channel at this time, youtube.com/World University, Scott McCloud World University. I'm just gonna turn 360 degrees around to show downtown Lakeport, including the city council buildings. So I'm holding once again the Carnegie Library name above me. And as I spin around, you'll see the street that is on the waterfront and the Lakeport County City Council offices just behind me right now, presently. And spinning around further, might be possible to see the lake behind me. No, not this time. The lake of Clear Lake. But that's the news and question and answer for World University and School today, June 2nd, 2025. If you have questions about World University and School, want to matriculate, or know of prospective students who want to matriculate, president@worlduniversityandschool.org. worlduniversityandschool.org is our main website, but perhaps that will change after today's meeting with Chase Bank's The Acceleration Project, enhancing your web presence from a beginning website to a website that might be very helpful for students in new ways, prospective students and prospective university researchers as well. So until next Monday, June 9th, 2025, all the best. Stay in touch on Twitter and LinkedIn, and see you soon. Bye for now.